A detective's mind doesn't clock out. It just hunts shadows in the quiet. Out here in the misty Appalachian hills, where the fog clings like secrets, I sensed trouble brewing. The unnatural hush of the ancient forest, the scheming ravens perched on the dawnlit fence, and the blatant deception unfolding before me. "If you'll cooperate, sir," the man drawled in a polished tenor, "we'll wrap this up quick." I fixed my stare on him, letting the silence thicken. Liars hate voids they rush to fill them with slip-ups. He nailed the sincere gaze, the spotless uniform with a vague, forced authority, patch official enough to fool most. Clipboard in hand, stance authoritative, tone steady. But after 25 years busting cons, I spotted the flaws. His shoes gleamed too fresh against the muddy oak leaves on my deck. His buddy lurked behind, feigning nonchalance while casing the cabin's entry points, not a surveyor, but a strategist eyeing vulnerabilities. My old partner knew it too. Buddy hadn't budged from the doorway, but a deep rumble vibrated in his chest, not a growl, but a promise, threat detected. Locked and loaded. We'd partnered for 8 years before retiring. His gut was sharper than mine. "Wrap what up?" I murmured, cradling my stoneware mug, its heat anchoring me despite the chilled brew inside. The guy's grin held, but irritation flashed in his eyes-eyed, derailed his play. As I said, he pressed, edge creeping in, report of an illegal outbuilding. Regulations demand a safety check. I sipped slowly, eyes wandering to the serene pond mirroring the towering maples. This spot was Isabella's haven. After the docs delivered the grim verdict, she'd chosen here. "Quiet enough to hear your soul," she'd murmured on this deck, her fragile hand in mine. "A spot to mend, Jack." For 3 years post-loss, I couldn't face it laced with her essence. Now, it was my sole refuge from emptiness. And this fraud, with his pristine kicks and flimsy fibs, was desecrating sacred soil, twisting her peace into peril. My quiet emboldened him. "Listen," he snapped, facade cracking, "we're authorized. Let's inspect the barn, or we return with the local marshal." That was his fatal slip, wielding the law against the lawman. I set the mug down with a precise clink. Buddy stiffened, sensing my pivot. "The local marshal?" I echoed softly, steel threading my words. "You mean Bill Dawson?" He nodded smugly. "Yeah, Marshal Dawson." "Pity," I sighed, rising slowly from my weathered rocker. "I'm no lightweight." And, as I towered, their poise shattered. They saw not a grieving retiree, but the predator I'd been. About authority, I advanced. They retreated instinctively. That jacket? Forest authorities a phantom outfit, unregistered. Felony. That form? Bogus seal, off by a hair. Another count. Your pal's packing heat outline clear. No permit? Strike 3. The air grew heavy as truth sank in. "You're not after a barn," I growled. "You're raiding for cabin secrets, cloaked in law. Impersonation, big felony." Color fled their faces. They were minnows spotting the pike. I closed in, sending their panic beneath cheap aftershave. "So, as promised, scram. Hop in your spotless Jeep, vanish, and tell your boss the one I call Wraith that Jack Reed sends regards. In this round, I won't falter." Silence crushed, pierced by their gasps. The name hit like a grenade. Recognition sparked terror. They fled, taillights devoured by the shadowy Smokies. I bolted the door, the lock's thud echoing like doom. Buddy whined. Nuzzling my palm, felt the tempest brewing. My pulse raced, threads connecting. Pro setup, untraceable ride, targeted strike. No coincidence. Then, the puzzle's outly earth crate. Days back, clearing the rickety barn slumped against the ridge, I'd yanked a decayed plank. Buried in dank soil. A sturdy army surplus box, corroded but sealed. Assumed relic from prior owner, the accountant who dumped the place fast for Arizona. Shoved it aside, forgotten. Until now. Chill certainty gripped. This wasn't random for Theodore Grant, the seller. Nor for Isabel Ashe adored this exact remote parcel with unexplained fervor. Had she known? Was Grant more than a hasty vendor? Flashlight in grip, I stormed out back, Buddy trailing. Moonless night swallowed all but my beam's glow. Barn door creaked. Inside, amid splintered logs and musty hay, the crate loomed, pulsing with menace. Hauled it indoors, slammed it on a maple table where Isabella and I shared dawns. Stared, knowing it was a Pandora's vault opening would shatter my fragile calm. Damn it. They'd invaded. War was on. Crowbar snapped the lock with a resonant crack. Stale paper wafted up. No riches, no arms, just a hefty bound journal and a rugged SSD, mil-spec tough. Journal, pages of scribbled aliases, dates, some's coded illicit flows. Grant script, the damning core. Drive, the digital dagger. Grant hadn't bolted. He'd stashed, trusting this hideaway Wraith overlooked. Sold to me, he'd handed the flame. Slumped in chair, burden crushing. Drive was gold, but network peril loomed. Then, my dormant tablet pinged, screen igniting unbidden. Heart slammed. Green text typed. Found a crate, Jack? Theodore was naive. So was Isabella. Her legacy's precious didn't force my hand. Surrender the drive. Final chance. Blood iced. Buddy snarled at the spectral intruder. Wraith wasn't spying infest in my system, my haven. Rage primordial surged. He'd profaned Isabella's memory. I yanked the cord, smashed the tablet on the hearth till shards flew. Buddy watched, understanding the boundary drawn. Flipped the breaker, cabin blacked out. Yanked phone lines. This clash went old school, no grids for his ghosts. Drive inert without connect. Journal's archaic map led to defunct shells. Useless alone. Trust? Feds? Wraith infiltrated. Local, Bill Dawson. Dawn broke stormy. I trucked to Pine Hollow. Shadows menaced. Every vehicle suspect. Bill's den reeked of burnt Joe and files. Jack, heard about that ranger hassle, he said, eyes evasive. Something like I replied, standing. Digging on my seller accountant named Grant. Jaw tick. Don't ring bells. Folks come and go. He ghosted post-sale. Missing report. None I recall. Firm but false. Deflection promi old teach. Stone-walled, I'd tipped him. Exited into drizzle. Isolation biting. Stopped at Sam's Mercantile for brew and shells. Jack looked spooked. Sam boomed, sweat beating despite chill. Saw Bill's Boys Your Way feud with upscale Willow Estates folk. To pinpoint, my visitors were fakes. Sam's grin faltered, fear lurking. He was compromised. Mix up, I paid, dread swelling. The net tightened. Nightfall, prepped, fishing line tripwire to tins. 304 aim clatter. Pistol ready, I flanked via side window. Lone shadow pried barn lock. Wraith impatient. Slipped out, circled. Hunting prizes? I hissed. He whirled, pry bar swinging. Dodged, slammed him to wall. He wriggled free, bolted into gloom. Buddy whined at scuffle spot. Veins froze. Echoed a stale file. Grant's witness last seen at derelict Silver Peak coal mine. 3 miles off. Wraith's lair unearthed. Solo suicidal. Tested trust fracture. Payphone in next burg, quarters fed. Rang Bill's cell. Bill, Jack. Unearthed Grant ties. Locals whisper Silver Peak's cursed. Gut says linked. Scouting noon tomorrow. Pause too pregnant. Jack, stay clear hazardous. I'll dispatch a man. Just hunch, hung up. Bait laid. Rolls blurred. Ditched home. Holden truck amid furs, goods stashed. Buddy snoozed, I vigilant. Hit mine pre-dawn, foot approach from heights. Eerie quietno, wildlife stir. Vantage on ledge, rusted relics, yawning shaft. Waited. By 9:30, arrivals. Civvy rides, armed pros in tack gear. Sniper ascended derrick, flanks secured. Kill zone, not probe. Bullet sold me out. Black Escalade rolled in. Elias Kane wraith merged, poised as lord. Bill trailed, shrunken. Rear door. Sam shoved out, bound, terrified. Jack. Kane bellowed, theatrical. Predictable, always verifying. Charade's done. To Bill. Sheriff's loyal family incentives. Bill winced. To Sam. Worried for you, spilled, all for daughter's sake. Revelation hammered. Not isolated rot wraith, own the burg, souls included. Utterly solo. Drive and journal, Kane demanded. Or tragic mishap. Rifle up, I targeted Gen Light. Spot a known thing, muttered. Shot shattered bulb. Pandemonium erupted blind fire. Bolted, Buddy diverting shots. Bullets whizzed, one grazed flank. Ran till silence, slumped by birch, bleeding but alive. Hunted now, sanctuary battlefield. Creek hit us, water-numbing wound. Clarity, no more flight. Cornered bee strikes. Advantage, prey turning predator. Ripped journal page senator bribes. Slipped under Bill's cruiser wiper. Midnight. Mine. Solo. Circled to alt shaft overgrown vent. Descended abyss, Buddy's senses guiding slime slick maze. Emerged ledge over hub. Kane's op center lit harsh. He entered drive and fist. Here, Jack. Surrender ledger. Silent, I watched. He mocked. Hid post Keller flop, eh? Weakness. Bonds. Isabella, fighter but cancer's fickle. Doc's hopeful, then plunge. Buddy tensed. Rage boiled. He eyed shadows, while water's mineral rich. Some toxins. No miracles. Didn't kill, just quashed hope. World crimsoned. Leapt down, roaring. Knife drawn, we clashed savage punches, slashes blood. He overpowered, knife poised. Ends now. Buddy soared, jaws clamping arm. Knife flew, I pounced, KO punch. Panting, secured scene. Sat phone to ex-boss. Director Hayes, Jack Reed. Got Wraith Elias Kane. At Silver Peak. Ledger, drive Keller exposed. County's dirty, come armed. Feds inbound, 80 minutes. Whole. Blur ensued. Raids, 70 collars, senator down, DOJ crooks cuffed. Willow front busted. Bill confessed, ruined. Found Grant's remains per journal. Sam testified, spared coerced dad. Kane, insane, locked eternal. Rebuilt cabin, solo therapy, in sweat. Unearthed crate's secret. False base, envelope in Isabella's hand. Darling Jack, if this world invaded our peace. Sorry. Theodore begged. I trusted you. But not for ghost slayers here. Drop the load. Rebuild, watch dawns breathe. Promise. Eternal love, Isabella. Tears fell. She knew. Now porch sitting, fresh Joe, sun gilding pond. Buddy's head on knee. Silence heals. Full breaths at last. What if justice demands crossing lines? Would you destroy a life to save many? Was Jack's vengeance heroic or vigilante madness? Should corrupted souls like Bill and Sam get second chances? Drop your take below. Smash like if gripped. Subscribe for more twists.